Hey, good morning, everybody. Hey, I want to bust open a myth this morning. I want to bust open a myth, a myth that has, you know, I struggled with for probably 10 years, from, like 15 to 25. This is a myth that really, really consumed me. And it's wrong. It's a myth. And that is that you have to earn a lot of money to save a lot of money. Okay. Now, this is absolutely incorrect. It's just wrong. It's just flat out wrong. Okay, um, we can build wealth without making a lot of money. Okay, now my point in case here is that I know people that make 500,000 a year. I know a few people. I don't know a lot, but I know a few people that make around $500,000 a year that are broke. I mean, they're broke. They're beyond broke. They're leasing the Corvette, Corvette. They're leasing the Mercedes. They got a $1 million home that's stretched out on mortgage with a HELOC, a home equity line of credit against it. Um, you know, and then their wife's got another one in the garage, BMW, and they're leased. Look, part of the problem we have is that the more income we make, the more we spend. Okay. When you can get rid of this simple bad habit, okay, then we can change the way the game goes, right? Like, I know people that make $500,000 years that are broke, but I know people that make 40. I know a few people that make $30,000 a year that are building wealth, okay? You know, you do not. Here's the point today, and I've made this comment before, but today I want to make it very apparent. It does not matter how much money you make. All that matters is how much money you spend. It doesn't matter how much you make. It only matters how much you spend. Okay? If you make $40,000 a year and you can live off of 20, you got 20 grand to work with, right? But if you make $500,000 a year and you spend $700,000 a year, who's going to end up more wealthy, right? Who's going to end up with the wealth? It doesn't matter how much money you make. It only matters how much you spend. Now, don't get me wrong. Again, I want to emphasize there's nothing wrong with furthering along your career. Look, I would like for you to be making $500,000 and living off of 20. I mean, look, nobody making $500,000 a year should be living off of 20 grand for one, because God wants you to enjoy the resources in which He's entrusted to you. From a Christian's perspective, look, God's entrusted us with these resources, right? Like, it's all given to us. We haven't earned anything. God has entrusted it to us. And so, look, God wants you to enjoy part of that after your tithe, right? Like, He wants you to enjoy a portion of it, right? So there's nothing wrong with making more money, but we got to be good stewards of that money. Okay. We can't be making six figures and then spending seven figures a year. Who? That's just bad math, right? Like, nobody's going to become wealthy making six figures and spending seven figures. Now, you can be making five figures. You can be making 40 grand a year and only spending 20 or 30 or 50, making 50 and only spending 20 or 30. And you can build wealth quite rapidly. Look, people need to understand at every income level, doesn't matter, every income level, you have the resources to become wealthy. You can become a millionaire. You and your family can become a millionaire, become millionaires. You all can become wealthy. And look, again, coming back to us Christians, look, we want to change the world. Look, we will. We will. Okay. But first, we have to get our own households in order, right? We got to get our own financial situations in order first. Pay your tithes, and then focus on your own finances. Get yourself to a place where you can be more generous and you can help somebody else's. Look, here's one thing I know is that when you can't stop and focus on somebody else's light bill that's been, somebody else's lights have been cut off, when you got to worry about your own light bill. You can't worry about a widower trying to feed her children, or trying to overcome a death in her husband's death, or wife's death. You can't worry about those things when you got battles that you're fighting at home in your own finances and in your life. We first need to take care of ourselves so that we can then take our attentions to other people. Okay? If we are so focused on all the things in the storms we have going on in our own lives, and I'm speaking about finances. Let's be clear here. I'm talking about finances. We're fighting battles with our finances at home. We can't take our eyes off ourselves long enough to look for other people that need help, right? You can't pay somebody else's light bill when you're still concerned about your own. You can't even think about the concept of paying somebody else's light bill when you still have to think about your own. So anyways, I got off on a little bit of a rant, but I just wanted to speak to you guys. Look, God says that we must first take care of our own household. Those that don't take care of their own household are worse than an unbeliever. This is straight from God's mouth. So focus on your finances. Get yourself to a place and be persistent in handling your finances. And the day will come. It will come. It's biblical. The day will come when you'll be able to help others. Okay? So back to the moral of the story here today is that, guys, it doesn't matter how much money you make. It only matters how much you spend. This is why a budget is so important. A budget will allow you to create the blueprint, and every month you'll have a plan, and that plan will always be to spend less than you make. The budget's always going to be zero based, meaning that we're going to spend all of our money, but a lot of that money, we want to move to a point to where a lot of that money goes to savings. Okay? So like we get to the bottom of our budget and we got $400 left, we can use that money for savings, right? Now, we'll talk later about the concept, because what I just said, I don't agree with. We shouldn't be saving last. We should be saving first. I'll save that for another post, because we got to learn to start paying ourselves first. But anyways, doesn't matter how much money you make. It only matters how much you spend. All right? Everybody have a great day. Take care. Bye.